Hi there, this is Art and Such with part 2 of my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Princess Merida. We finished part 1 with our body on the loom ready to be taken off. So you'll have completed your looming all the way up. You have your arms on. The base is looped. And you've completed going up the sides and met them in the middle and completed the center going up right to the very top. Now we can take this off of our loom, going under those neck pieces and carefully removing the body. Use your hook if you find it more easy. Some of these parts, especially around the extensions, are going to be a little tough because we have so many bands here. Alright, here we go. And we can start on our face. Our head and our face. We'll do this on the offset position loom again. We start with our orange bands going 2 down, top to top, and 2 down again. We're going to do another set going down. These are all double bands. And we're going to put on some skin tone bands. 2 down the center, another 2, and we'll do 2 coming up. Let's put some more orange. If you don't want your hair to go down as far, you can keep these ones as skin tone bands, or you can continue with the orange going down 2 sets. And we're going to close it off with 2 skin tone bands, reaching from the 3rd peg on the center to the 3rd peg on the side, and likewise going the opposite direction. We're going to make the eyes. You can use beads, or you can stick with me and do them on with your bands. So I'm going to use my hook. I'm going to take a single turquoise or green. You can have it match a dress or be a little different. I do have green in my prototype design there. We're going to keep them a little bit apart, and we will thread these onto a single skin tone band for the face. And this is going to go from your 2nd peg to your 2nd peg. We'll separate it and bring one of your 2 bands up onto the up over the 2nd peg in the middle. And we'll throw on a couple of cap bands, one from the 2nd to the 2nd up into a triangle, and we shouldn't need one on the set before, but we will cap off the bottom with our body piece. Decide which side you want to show in the front and face it upwards. And I'm just sliding the rest of this over the 4th peg just to get it out of the way a little bit. For the hair, you're going to need to make several chains. I've started to make some of my own, and you'll need to pause to make some as well. But just to get you started, we'll do one together. Take a single orange, wrap it once over your hook, thread it onto another single orange. And we're going to do this 5 more times, so we have a chain of 6. So that's 2, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and 6 times. When I made my first model here, I used 4 chains of 6, and that isn't counting that very first band. And then I had 8 chains of 10. So those are the longer ones. They will scrunch up a little bit, and you'll have to figure out just how wild and crazy you'd like her hair to be. That will determine the number of chains that you make. For the sake of brevity here, I'm only going to do 2 chains of 6 for either side on the 3rd peg. And we'll put those on now. You can join me as soon as you're ready. Here we go. 2 chains on the one side, And we'll put 2 chains of 6 on the other side. We want our shorter chains at the bottom because they aren't going to go as far down. We don't want it to overlap the body too much. And now the way that I added my other chains was by taking each of these sets of bands off the hook. And what we'll do is we'll thread our chain onto the hairpiece and then replace that onto our peg. So as I said, I've only made 4 this time, but depending on the number that you made, this might take you a little longer. It might require a little maneuvering, but the effect is really, really nice. Let's actually get under here and we'll put a set onto this one. You can even put double sets or triple sets onto certain bands. Just make sure you're putting everything back where it belongs. And I'm going to just throw one more on this top set. So once more, I'll move this band out of the way. We'll take this off of the hook, off the peg, and onto the hook. Bring our chain over and replace this. And then we're ready to finish looping. We're almost done, guys. Okay, we're going to reach under that neck and we're going to bring the bands back to where they came from. So 2 over to the side, push it really, really well down. 2 to the other side. And we'll go up the center. Make sure you stay under those cap bands by the eyes. Now going in on the sides, you'll have to push the chains out of the way and dig in. Look from the side, it usually helps. And get those bottom 2 orange bands and bring them up onto your next peg. Next 2 orange at the bottom, bring them up, and your last 2, meet them in the middle. We'll repeat this on the other side. So pull your bands out of the way or push them out of the way with your hook and your finger. Bottom 2 orange, bring it up. Bottom 2 orange, bring it up. And finally meet this last pair in the center. And we have a lot of bands here, so it's a tiny bit dicey. Okay, you're gonna stick your hook through all of the bands on your top center peg. Trying to get those out of the way so you can have a better view here. And you'll be taking an orange band, putting that on the end of your hook, and pulling your hook back through. You can make a slip knot with these by bringing the bottom band over the top one. We'll hold on tight to that and carefully remove all of our bands from the loom. Now at this point you can be almost finished. You need to just bring a couple of your orange bands out under the chin bands. So find these skin tone bands and bring them, stretch them out, press your orange through. You'll want to take a C-clip and secure your band at the back. So you might want to pull that down a little bit such that it's out of the way. Onto your C-clip. Okay. You'll push out the eyes and stretch out the body, correct for any loose bands, and now you're more or less finished. If you'd like to add our final finishing touch, it is the bow. And to do this, you'll be using 1 row of your loom. I'm using the flat configuration, the square, but it doesn't really matter how you do it. It can be anything as long as you have a straight row. You're going to start at the top, and depending on the length you want, you'll be going as far as the end of the loom. I'm only doing 7 on this, and that gives a shorter length, but the full loom will give you that really broad, stretchy, bendy length. And what you're doing here is you're going to take a yellow band, double it over, and put it between 2 pegs, any 2 pegs. And you'll keep going down to the desired length, and then cap it 3 times, 2 or 3 times with a brown. We reach under our brown and we loop right up. It's going to have a lot of tension to it, so you might even want to do this just on your hook, but I'll show you the loom method this time. It is going to be very tight, so hold on and be really careful. And you will need to make 2 of these, so I'll get you to pause your video. And when you're ready, we can move on here. Okay, now we're going to connect our 2 pieces. We're going to take 2 browns and slide all of our yellow bands on top. Put it back on the loom and create a slip knot. And this holds it together. And now if you'd like to add another set of brown, you can, or you can keep it kind of loose. You're going to reach under the hand bands, the skin tone bands for the hand. And actually we'll put this on the other side. We'll put this onto the end of our hook so that it pulls through the hand, and that way it's like it's being held. And you'll bring one or both sides of your bow over and pull it in a slip knot. And there is your Princess Merida. Just give her a straightening there. Thank you for watching. Please tune in for more videos.